Do you box? Last guest. Welcome to the podcast. Happy to have you here.
Yeah, would love to know your perspective about what's happening in the market right now, and how we're actually maneuvering in it. What's the current status and everything. So yeah, let's start. I think with some questions before the introductions. What do you think?
Yeah. So, what would you say, or who would you say would benefit more given the uncertain situation that's going on from the market right now? The buyers or the developers?
So in times of uncertainty, what happens basically both buyers and the developers get the benefit out of it. But I would say the buyers always have an upper hand because this is the time of the buyer's market. You have the leverage of negotiating with the different developers in terms of the payment plans, in terms of the discounts or some leverages that you usually don't get when the market is in the going at that high end, basically.
Great.
Correct. That's true. Okay.
And what would you say separates confident buyers from confused ones?
I would say the confident buyers are the ones who do their research properly before going ahead and looking for a property. They know what are their financial backgrounds, what are their needs. They're looking for investment. They're looking for end user. They're going for a family end use, or they're individual buyers. Their salary package aligns what exactly they're looking for. And the ones which are confused, they look for, they are confused. They look for different information from different sources, and they get confused, and they're not able to take the right decision at the right moment.
Absolutely. There's a lot of misinformation in the market anyway. Whenever.
Yes, and today they're sitting with you,
Yeah.
and they're trusting you, and then tomorrow they go to somebody else, and they get information from some other source, and they say, no, this guy's right.
That's
So the information which has been floating around the market has to come from a valid source, and if it's not valid, then obviously you're not supposed to rely on this information.
absolutely really. Before we move, before we go on, we have to do the introduction. So if you could kindly introduce yourself to the audiences.
Yes, actually, I'm the sales head in Takmeel Development, and I've been here in Dubai for almost 19 years throughout real estate. Except for the fact, after COVID, 1.5 years, I was selling private aircrafts. That was the only time where I was out of the industry, where there was quite a glamorous job. But yes, throughout real estate in past 19 years, and I think that's the only thing I can do, and I can never think of anything else apart from real estate, specifically in brilliant.
It's a passion now, right?
There it is, a passion.
That's it. Day in, day out thing. We should also introduce ourselves. I
Yes.
think it's
Wanna
it's
go
the right-
first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So this is Usman. I'm the digital entrepreneur. I'm a lot of things actually, but here I'm the global head at Lavinia Properties. And what are you?
And for me, I'm Donya. Thanks for joining us today. I'm the hypnotherapist and the business mindset coach here at Lavinia Properties.
Brilliant, brilliant. We have a diverse sofa every time.
Yep.
Okay, so I think here's the thing that from our previous conversation. When does real estate not make sense?
See, real estate always does make sense, but it doesn't make sense only when you are, as I mentioned earlier, when you're not financially sound, and you are looking for something you want to flip over within a small period of time. Sometimes the real estate agents, they misguide you. They show you a bigger picture and say, okay, fine, you're gonna buy the property, you're gonna keep it for another 6 months or 7 months down the line, and they're gonna flip it for you, and you're gonna sell it at a premium, which is not right. So it's always being a real estate professional, you're supposed to guide those investors and buyers. So if you know that you're not backed by financial in a financial background, like stable background, or a stable job, or you have some source of earnings which is going to leverage you when the property is going to get handed over, then you should not get into buying any property.
Absolutely. It's about working with the right people at the end of the day.
Yes.
Where would you say most people miscalculate their numbers when it comes to wanting to buy a property, investment, personal use, whatever that might be?
There are certain hidden costs that they don't calculate in terms of the Dubai Land Department fee, service charges. There's time, 5 to 10% period of when the vacancy period, basically. They don't calculate the taxes. Especially if the investors are coming from other countries, the foreign exchange rate, the currencies are, fluctuating. India currency is going down, the other countries, you see. So you have to keep into consideration all those factors that you're buying. What is the current foreign exchange rate? What are the hidden charges? You are paying 4% daily. You're paying the service charges, and the other hidden costs like the 2% agency fee that you're going to pay to the brokerage if you're buying a secondary property. So all these things supposed to be calculated before making an investment. So you get the true return of investment when you're buying the property. Whether you're going to rent it off, or you can flip it at the time of the handover, you're going to live in an apartment, whatever it is.
That's the right approach to it. What do you think about like what's in the pipeline for Takmeel right now, and introduce a bit about Takmeel as a developer, as what you're doing to the people who don't know Takmeel, but probably not.
Takmeel has been there in the market for 30 years. We've been doing contracting for 20 years, and since past 10 years, we've been constructing different projects in various Emirates, including Ajman. In Dubai, we have around 6 projects. We have handed over many projects. The people who have bought with us are very happy in terms of the quality, in terms of the timeline delivery. So we are backed by a very, very strong financial backup we have. We don't deal with the banks. We at a time, we do only 2 or 3 projects. We focus on that. The timely delivery. Every project was delivered on time. We maintain the construction quality in-house. We make sure that everything aligns what we have committed to the clients, whether it's appliances or the minute details inside the apartment. In terms of the payment plan, it's very attractive. I believe currently nobody's offering 50-50 3 years post handover payment plan. This is what exactly we're offering. And otherwise, we have 40-60 payment plan, which is 40% during construction, 60% upon handover. We have multiple options for different buyers. Some people, they want to go for the mortgage at the time of the handover. So a 40-60 payment plan suits perfectly well for these kind of investors. Then we have certain clients who don't want to deal with the bank because, they have this Islamic perspective that they want to pay interest. So we have created a plan specifically for those investors where they can make 50% payment within 2 years time, let's say around 18 to 24 months, because the timeline for our project is between 20 to 22 months. They're like 2 years. You can
From the start to the complete.
from the so around 24 months, you can say. But the buyer, as I said, he's going to pay around 50% during construction, which is around 18 to 20 months time, and 50% he can pay over a period of 3 years. So which is around 1.39% every month. It's nothing. So he can rent the apartment, he can live in the apartment, give the remaining of the payment as if he's paying the rent for his own apartment, and he'll be the owner of the unit.
So I'm just gonna ask you, like in terms of specific projects, like from Takmeel's point of view, which ones do you think are more investor friendly right now, and which ones are more for the end users at this point of time? Probably it's a completion. You know how this works in the market, right? So which one would you recommend?
See, the question is very, very, it's a very wide question. It all depends on from client to client basis. What budget do you have? Some clients have a certain amount of budget which they cannot exceed. So I would recommend them to go to Dubai South. Obviously, we have a very bright future. Everybody's talking about Dubai South, but if you go and see the location yourself, it's like everybody's there.
Yeah,
pay for the living over there.
Perfect location.
And perfect location right next to the airport. The prices are still, I would say, are less. Yeah, it's great. Coming years, the prices, the capital appreciation, the rental returns will be very, very, very attractive. The studio starting from 663,000 dirhams, which is nothing, having a payment plan of 40-60. So you actually end up paying around 240,000 dirhams only a period of 2 years. So you go and buy a Range Rover and you'll end up paying almost 500,000 dirhams.
More for that.
So buying a studio is cheaper than buying a car in Dubai South right now with us.
Absolutely.
And we additionally we also we drafted and we created another payment plan which is 50-50 post handover. So you pay 50% during the construction and 50% 3 years post handover, because some specific client, they don't want to deal with the banks, and I
Absolutely.
and I respect. And that's the reason why we have made sure that whoever comes in and sits on the table, we have something for them to take care of.
Offer to them.
Yes, to offer them, exactly. See, many developers, I wouldn't take the name, but they are developers. They utilizes that 1 year time period, which has been given by the land department, that leverage 1 year, that they can delay the project. However, in our cases, we have delivered all the projects on time. Absolutely. And sometimes even the buyers, they come to us and say why, because we thought that it's going to be delayed.
Yeah, it's gonna be delayed.
And so we're not prepared to make the payment.
Yeah, some people. Yeah, that's definitely the case in the
And
market.
at times when you deliver the project before, times no, we can't pay you. Because we were thinking, that the project is going to be a little bit delayed, and that's how we have aligned and our financials to make the remaining payment. So, but it's good in a way.
Well, it's a great thing to be on time. Or that's what the commitment is. So brilliant.
Which one of the projects that you guys are working on currently, this is just from your point of view, right? Which one would you say is your favorite, or you kind of like more compared to the others, and why?
I would buy in the Divine Barari. The project is it's a corner plot. First thing, the location is very, very unique. First of all, it's overlooking the entire Barari community, and you know how Barari is. It's one of the most luxurious, one of the most exquisite locations in India by itself. Minutes away from IMG, minutes away from a global village, and it's a
very central.
very central location. So you don't get much of a traffic while you're driving all the way to downtown or the Business Bay area.
Yep.
The entire location, there are many developers now, they are coming up. It's a developed community, but still we have a lot of construction going on over there. So in the coming years, we expect a lot of capital appreciation. And the gentry in that specific area is also very, you can say, creme de la creme. Nice community. So all the white-collar professionals, they prefer to stay in that area because of the easy commuting, and it's very centrally located. From the investor perspective, I would say the payment plan is extended because the handover is quarter to 2028, and the payment plan is very attractive at 40/60. So some people, they want an extended payment plan. The building is G+19. We have I believe the highest number of amenities in the project itself in that specific area. So my personal choice would be Barari. If I know Barari, yes.
It's differently to this, but that was actually the first event that I when you guys were launching Divine Barari. That was the first event that I went.
That you went to.
That was Takmeel was the one. Yeah, Takmeel was the first one. Brilliant.
Do you ever tell your clients not to buy?
Yes, I do tell my clients not to buy when they are not financially prepared, because I try to ask them certain questions. What is your salary package? How long you been in Dubai? What are your future plans? Are you eligible for a mortgage? Are you looking for cash buying, or you're looking for you're going to go for a mortgage at the time of the handover? So there's certain questions which, when I realize is that no, if they're not fitting in that criteria, or their financial obligations are not meeting the requirement, I tell them straight away, this is not the right time for you to buy. And there's one more time I tell them, when they say I want to buy the property, let's say I have around 300,000 dirhams, I want to make the payment 24%, 34%, and then I want to flip the property. I said, no, this is not the way how you're supposed to know. I say, no, please don't get into all this. Don't listen to the agents or the property consultants who give you this wrong advice of putting in the money 25% or 30% and flipping the property in a couple of months down the line. No, this is not the way to supposed to do it.
I like that answer, because I think for me, like if I was to be the buyer or the client, that actually makes me trust the person even more.
Absolutely.
Right? Because I know that they're very genuine and they're making sure that it's for my good at the end of the day, right? And it's benefiting me. That's a very good.
Yes, because it happens mostly in the off-plan market. The sales consultants, they misguide the clients by saying you pay 25% or 30%, and then in 6 months the property prices will go higher. It goes high, but then again, there are certain things that you have to consider. However, in this case, they can easily go and for a mortgage, because if they're resident of UAE, they are eligible for 80% mortgage for any specific property. So they can make the down payment 24%, buy the property which is ready to move in the apartment, and pay the EMIs as as a normal renter paying for any apartment they're living in currently at the moment.
Before I ask the last question, this question just came up for the audience that's listening at home. If someone is thinking of buying a property, whether it's for private use investing, or let's just go with private use in this case because we spoke about investors a couple of times. What would you say is the top 3 things that they should keep in mind or they should have in check before making that move? What makes them a prepared buyer, basically, ready to be able to buy?
Job stability, financial background, their source of incomes, whether it's only salary or they have other source of incomes, and obviously their budget. If they're capable of buying a one bed, they should stick to their budget. They should not exceed. Because some people they try to go beyond their their budget and financial obligations, which is not right, and then they end up coming back to us saying that is there any way we can exit from the industry?
They stretch themselves too far, right?
Exactly.
And what would you say makes Dubai such an attractive place to a lot of global investors, like makes them choose Dubai over and over again?
Dubai has been a safe haven for a long period of time. Zero crime rates. There's specifically certain agendas which has been running, like Dubai social agenda, Dubai economic agenda, Dubai centennial agenda, and it's already under progress. Yes, first time ever in the history, the university, you've heard of Harvard, right?
Yes.
So they're planning to have a campus here. So the best of education, the best of medical, go green concept, all these things you will never find in any location or any city in the entire globe. Specifically, when you talk about the crime rate, you walk any time during the night or any specific time, and absolutely would touch you. Yes, even for the girls, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
You go to any other country, you still feel that fear that should I step out of the house at the middle of the night, alone or no. Yeah. But in Dubai, you wouldn't think twice traveling in the taxi or Uber or even going all by yourself. It's the plus, as I said, no taxes, safe haven, the best of the medical services, best of the education. Dubai is the center of the globe. And say anywhere you can fly within
east or west, wherever you have
7 hours.
places on our
we're coming up with the largest aviation hub, and that's the Al Maktoum Airport, and that's exactly where our project is. There are divine elements, absolutely. So there are many factors. Well, if you see, but again, it caters and it helps any individual coming from any specific background, any specific industry, or any specific professional that fits in Dubai's market.
Absolutely. It's Dubai has everything for pretty much everybody.
Yes, but
That's why it's all this keeps growing.
there was an opportunity before, it is now, and it will be there tomorrow. Because when I see myself in 2008, there was an opportunity. And when I see myself today, I still feel that we have a long way to go in terms of the opportunities which you're going to find in Dubai for yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. And to that opportunity, cheers to that. This has been a very fruitful conversation. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming to our podcast. And thanks for joining us.
It's lovely having you here.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to do any sign-offs? No? Did you plan any sign-offs?
No.
We did anything for the last one?
We asked a question.
We have the question. Do you box? The last guest that we had was somehow like training for MMA fighting or something. He looked like a very soft, real estate agent, and then all of a sudden he was like, "I do MMA." I was like, really? Let's talk about that.
So I'm like, have you watched anyone?
It's like,
Don't worry.
are there any clients who push you to that limit where you like just put them in a headlock or something? But yeah, thank you so much for genuinely this was a very nice conversation.
Likewise, I honestly have a conversation with you too.
I guess we can leave it off with giving you the opportunity to just give any tips, anything that comes, and advice that comes up to your mind in terms of the market, real estate, investing, to the people at home. And we can directly. Fouled up.
Derek, you call him up.
Well, I would say that you should not panic just because of these shortcomings. Don't follow fake news. Don't always try to rely on the information which is valid and it is coming from a valid source. If anybody's, there are people they're saying many things about. I'm not specifically talking about Dubai. Anywhere, there are people who just try to pretend that they know everything.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I know the market's going to go down. Oh, I know that this is just a bubble and it's going to, where are you getting this information? Do you have any data?
What are the indicators?
Yeah, indicators. Exactly.
There's nothing
What basis are you talking about? Are you a professional? Are you somebody who has a background where you're capable of speaking in terms of any specific market scenario? No, if you're not, then just keep your mouth shut. So I would say that just rely on the right information. Don't panic. Don't take decisions just because of these shortcomings.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Very good one. Thank
That's
you.
okay.
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank you
joining
as
us today.
See you in the next one.